Good afternoon, everybody. See my screen? It's here on the 28th August 19. This webinar is going to be how you can trade divergence. So in this webinar, basically, I'm not going to keep using the word divergence, convergence, or anything like that. I'll just be saying that if price does not move the same way the indicator is moving, that is what is referred to as a divergence or convergence. So there's something which I mentioned last week. I did say that there are certain indicators which can be used to understand what the price is doing. They can be used at what they simply do is they tell you what's happening. They don't forecast the future, but they do tell you what is happening or what has been happening. So to trade opposite scenario, like divergence or convergence for that matter, you cannot do that based on what the chart is doing alone. You have to understand perfectly, very well, what the indicators are doing. Like the first thing is to understand which indicators to be using and what to do when something happens on the indicator. So we have If that does not happen, that the price goes back to that level while the indicator has not done the same thing, then that means we are changing direction. So like in this case, I would focus after knowing that this is a resistance and this is a peak, and now observe what happens next. Price moves down, 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 then begins to move up, and then while price is touching this level, the indicator is it's like several pips below previous line. So this is like we are continuing downwards. It's now a sell. You need to sell it immediately. So in the future, if the same thing happens, that the price comes back while the indicator is not doing the same thing, this is still a sell. So you ought to have sold it here, this point here. That is a sell. So as I've mentioned, I'm not focusing on like any whether you call it divergence, convergence, conflict, whichever name you call it. I'm not focusing on any in particular. What I'm focusing on is when price does something opposite what the indicator is doing, what should we do? That's what I'm focusing on. So, and that's why I've mentioned here that if I have this resistance here, then price in the indicator goes down while the price comes back to the same place. That is opposite in my opinion. So I'll keep selling it until the day that the same thing, like price either breaks above or it no longer does the same thing. Where is it? This is the same thing. So this is what should happen in a normal market. We expect to see this was a resistance. Yeah. This is a resistance. We expect the same thing to be happening. We expect the same thing to be happening. If the price is moving up, the indicator should be doing the same thing. So the interesting part comes when the indicator shows something exactly opposite what's happening on the price. That's when we look for a trade. So we now attach an indicator, the one which I'm talking about, so that we're able to see exactly. So we are able to weed out exactly what I'm saying so that we get it clear. Have this one. So anything green on this one means we're supposed to sell, we're supposed to buy, and anything red means we're supposed to sell. So as you can see, there is this. Look at this. The price is making lower lows, lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low. And if you check the same thing with the indicator, it's actually making higher lows. It's a lower low, higher low, higher low, a higher low. If this is happening, that the indicator is moving exactly opposite, look for trades. Keep buying it. And that means you could have bought it here. You also could have taken a buy there. Also could have taken a buy when this happened. Those are the places to buy from. Another thing, is this one. This is a resistance. So price is moving up while the indicator is actually moving downwards. The same thing. Price is moving up while the indicator is moving down. This is an opposite scenario. You look for a sell immediately. Same thing is happening. We are moving up while the indicator is moving downwards. So this is a buy. So I'm not focusing so much on the board, like on which the name somebody calls it. You can call it hidden divergence, convergence, whichever name you call it. Just know that anytime the indicator does something exactly opposite what the price is doing, it means that the price is going to change direction almost immediately in the near future. So if you have this, that this is a lower low, and then you also have this lower low, and then you also have this as a lower low. Just know that the next time price attempts to touch that place, or immediately, see this, these are the places to buy from. So we could have bought it when this happened. This was a buy for us. and this was also a good buy. Yeah, and you also had a buy at the very end of that line, which is this. At the same time, while this was happening that we are buying, there was also some sales here. You also could have taken these sales. But this is also an opposite scenario. We have price moving up while the indicator is moving downwards. So you pick a sell, it goes down. You pick a buy, it continues up. You pick a buy, it goes up to this resistance. Then you sell it from the top. At this, you can see the same thing, the exact same thing. The indicator is, the price is actually moving downwards. It's making lower highs. As you can see, we have this. This is a higher low. It's a lower low. It's a lower low. It's even lower. So while this is happening, that the price is making lower lows, the indicator on the other side is doing something exactly opposite. It's actually moving up. So all these were buy places. These were correct places to buy from. These were buy places. So one thing which I've noticed is that someone may see this as a buy, then after buying it, the price barely continues up and then breaks to the lower side. How do we weed out this one so that you don't find yourself doing this, or you enter trade when it's going to the opposite direction? The way to do that is very, very simple. If you want to weed out such trade, it's always very simple. The first thing, get where the trend is going. If the trend is going upwards, look for opposite scenarios that are showing you that you're supposed to head upwards. And if the trend is making lower highs like this, you have this. We also have this. This is a higher high, a lower high. This is another lower high. This means we are simply going to the lower side. So instead of buying anything, you better focus on sales. If you find this is happening, that this pattern, we keep making lower highs. Anytime the price attempts to move up, it barely rises above the previous one. That means you're still downwards. If it does the same thing but does not outdo the previous one, we are still bearish. So you keep, instead of buying these ones, you actually could have sold it here. You could also have sold it there, and you also could have sold it here. These are the places you trade from. Only when price approaches those places you look for a trade. So if this is price is moving downwards and then we see this as a sell, we still have sold these ones. All these were sell places until the time that the trend now changes, and now you see that we are making from this low, we've actually made a higher low. The entire place, this is the lowest low. We have this, the lowest low, and then this is a higher low, this one. Then we have this as a higher low here, and then we also have this as a higher low, this one. Then we have this one. So when you see this, that the price has now changed directions, focus on signs that are showing you, look for bullish opposite cases, the ones that are showing you're supposed to buy, which means you could not have sold anything here, but you could have bought this here, and you also could have bought this. Then you also could have bought this one before price eventually turns to the lower side. So thank you guys, thank you everybody. I hope that makes sense. If anybody is interested in this indicator, just indicate for me under the chat option. Just show me under the chat option that you need this indicator. It's free of charge. You can find it on the FreshForex website, but if you want to get it, maybe you cannot locate it there, kindly just feel free to leave for me a message here that you need it, then I'll tell you how you can get it. Thank you very much. See you.